All right, so we are back, and we are going to talk Indiana Jones 5 because that's all that came in. So let's get right into it. No, guys, we are here. We're going to talk about Mando. We're going to talk about everything that came out from Star Wars Celebration, from the trailers to the movie announcements to let's see if they get made to
Yep. Yep.
to some other news. We have eras now in Star Wars, so that should be interesting to get into. Um, but yeah, guys, we have a lot to talk about. As you can see, I have a pretty full panel to talk about everything. And guys, we're going to get right into this. So join us for our 1,000 subscribers. We are still trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, guys. So please join us for that and hit that like and subscribe button. But first, guys, let's talk about Mando. Let's talk about this last episode of Mando. Thoughts?
I mean, solid ass episode. The way that it ended, obviously, was phenomenal.
Yes.
I mean, I did like the workaround where she did technically own the saber because of him being defeated and someone else owning it, and she defeated him, and it was a nice little way. But the whole build up in general, between that fight, oh my god, so amazing.
Look, all I can say is that shot of her with the dark saber lit up and her just standing there right before they cut to the credits is probably my favorite shot so far this season. I mean, I love Bo-Katan. I'm a huge Mandalorian fan in general. I love the culture of the Mandalorians. My favorite character is Boba Fett. Always has been, always will be. I love the Mandalorian. So yeah, seeing this and her finally getting it back is one of the greatest things I think I've ever seen Filoni do in live action. So I'm so happy we got that.
I think my favorite part about that scene was the whole lead up to it, because the whole time she's just like, am I gonna get it? Like, am I gonna? And she's just smiling. She's like, am I gonna get it? Am I gonna? And I thought that whole lead up to it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, well done. Definitely well done.
I mean,
Marie, any thoughts on that? On the episode in general?
I really liked how it was a detective episode.
Yeah.
I really liked that. It was a detective mystery that they figured out what was going on, and you didn't really know where it was going to go until it went there. And I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought it was a great reveal of who was behind it all. Because obviously they kind of throw you off with Jack Black a little bit, possibly being behind it all, and you don't really suspect Christopher Lloyd, another great cameo in this episode, to be the guy, because he's just kind of helpful when you first meet him, and then everything kind of turns, and I think
I will say I did suspect him.
Okay.
That's fair, honestly. That's fair.
That was the. Don't get me wrong, great character, but there was just certain part of it that I was just like, I don't trust you, you son of a bitch.
I think he was just very like dismissive. He just kind of wanted them to get out, because they were just he knew like if they start digging that they're gonna find what I'm doing. Because he was just kind of like, well, I don't really have time for you, so go to the lower tiers and they'll help you. I don't know.
I feel like too that this season got back to more of the season one feeling, where this is sort of a more mature Clone Wars, and Rebels. Do you know what I mean? Like it's that sort of story of the week again, but there's still a bigger story being told in the background. But it's sort of just Filoni's just so good at it. This style of storytelling he's very good at. From Clone Wars to Rebels, and he's the master at this time. And I feel like this is how this has to play out, is sort of the adventure of the week, but then give us what forwards the main storyline, which we're obviously getting to. Bo-Katan is the Mandalorian. I mean, that makes the most sense. She's earned it. This story was originally written for Boba Fett, and now it's fitting that this random Mandalorian is getting kind of pushed to the side as people are thinking, and Bo-Katan is stepping forward because he loves that character, and it just makes sense.
I love Bo-Katan. I think she's an amazing character.
Yeah,
I have a complete.
Go ahead. Yeah, no, I'm interested to hear. I'm interested to hear it, man.
So, things I liked. I thought that's cool. I think he's an underrated character that needs more.
Who?
So here's the problem with that I had.
You broke out.
You cut out. Who? What'd you say? Who?
I said what I did like was the. Am I still?
Yeah, you're still cutting.
You're cutting out like as soon as you get to.
No, I'll just.
Sorry.
No. I want to figure this out. Type it
Yeah,
out.
no, I want to know.
Type it in the private chat.
No, I want to know.
Type it out in the private chat. I need to figure this out.
I feel like, and I don't think he's really pushing Mando to the side. I think what they're doing is sort of, they're going to make Mando sort of the focus of the show now. It's going to be them together, sort of rolling Mandalore together, because yes, you know, the armor has said that she has her toe in both sides, you know, helmet on, helmet off, as you know, they go. But I feel like the Mandalorian still has to be a part of it. Like, you can't just kick him out of the show. I don't think.
No,
and he is still a great character. He is still just a really. I
don't think that they will.
Right. I feel like this is Filoni kind of saying, "This is ultimately where I wanted to go. This is ultimately where I wanted to go with it. I just could never do it."
Yeah, he is saying that he doesn't like the fact that he likes that they gave a nod to Count Dooku, but he didn't like how they sidelined Din.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah. Yes.
To me, just though, like, it seems like at the end of season 2, they wrote themselves into a hole and they didn't know how to get out. Because, like, to me, like, why give Din the dark saber? Like, I get the struggle, but the end should be him learning how to use it, not just, oh, here you have the darksaber on a technicality. Well, if that's the case, then Grogu should have the darksaber. Then, like, to me, to that point, it's just dumb. And then for Favreau or whoever came out to say, like, oh, you know, the Mandalorian, instead of Mando, it's going to focus on the larger group as a whole. Like, to me, that just takes away from the purpose of the show. Like, I feel like they should have just ended the Mandalorian's arc and then gone into the other stuff. And but then, like, to me, it just feels like Bo-Katan hijacked the Mandalorian show. But like, I think now it's just the Bo-Katan show to me.
But this is that's her legacy, man.
But like, I think also it's not even to be honest. I think it's more of not even the Bo-Katan show. It's more of Mandalore culture in a whole, and it's all about actually where the Mandalorian where they go from here. They now finally have technical home over on
Mandalore.
Navarro.
I just think that this episode was the weakest among the all. Apparently, Wednesday's episode is supposed to be the best, but so
I don't know if this one was the weakest.
I don't know. I don't know if I could say that. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I would say either this one or the one where it just like goes to Coruscant with Dr. Was it Pershing or whatever? Or was that like 30-minute segment of something like
I like that. I like that
love
episode.
that.
Yeah, I do too. I
thought that was a great episode.
But it's interesting because that they basically have said since then that was a sort of pseudo pilot for the New Republic show they want to do. So I mean, that part of it didn't get announced during Celebration. So I'm wondering why they didn't do that. If they introduced it that way, I'm just curious why they didn't actually announce that show too.
Mind blowing.
Yeah,
I see what you did there. That was good.
I just thought that was an interesting sort of, not saying.
I don't know. I just know when the Mandalorian came out, it was a focus around Din Djarin, and Grogu.
Yeah, Din Djarin.
And like for him to be kind of written out of his own show, to me, like they should have just ended it.
I don't think
he's not getting written out.
Okay, but if you sideline him, you're basically writing him out.
But I don't think he's going to be sidelined. I just don't think he's going to be the ruler of Mandalore. I think he's going to be a bounty hunter, what he's always been.
Yeah, he's still the main focus even in this last episode.
Last weekend it didn't.
I really feel like that. If anything, I think they're setting up for a Bo-Katan spinoff where she has her own show and she's ruling Mandalore.
That I would have rather have that.
Being the Mandalorian, still,
I'd rather have that than her just hijacking the Mandalorian.
Again,
show.
If you know the lore and where they're at right now, this actually makes a lot of sense what they're doing. It really does.
And I don't think that it would have made much sense for Din Djarin's character to end up with the Darksaber and lead Mandalore because he's a follower.
Yeah, of 100%.
Yeah,
and I just don't see him truly leading.
Yeah, he's a
then why give him the Darksaber to begin with?
Because they needed the conflict with Bo-Katan. She said that she wanted to start off this season where she was completely lost, and she wanted to explore that side of Bo-Katan, which makes sense again because she was supposed to get the Darksaber and then she doesn't.
Again,
and
which they could have done in a Bo-Katan spinoff show.
Yeah, but they need to set up something to.
Yeah, but they're not. That's the whole point. This is how they've been doing it. Boba Fett. I mean, they're tying all these shows together. I mean, that's what they're doing. So
yeah,
and now this High Republic.
I guess all of these I guess crossovers just kind of take away from the main character, in my opinion.
Well, it gets to what we're going to kind of talk about later, which is the Filoni movie that's going to be coming in a few years. That is going to tie all this stuff together.
If they come to fruition.
Well, and that's not a bad point.
Did they say, and what we're about to talk about, what the first one they're coming out with is?
The Rey trilogy. The beginning of the Rey trilogy is the next or the first movie coming out. Yeah, the next movie coming out.
I don't know how smart.
I don't know how smart that is, but look, they just brought Ahmed Best back in Mandalorian. He had a great cameo back. Yes. I loved his part for sure. So him getting redemption with the Star Wars fans, dude. If you watch that 15-minute Christian Haydenson interview from Star Wars, he cried because of the applause and the cheers he was getting. I mean, people are starting to re-embrace Star Wars in that way. So yeah, I think bringing back old characters like that works for sure.
But I don't know that they're going to re-embrace the sequels like they re-embraced him.
But look, Filoni, and I'm against the cloning stuff. I don't like that they're trying to make the cloning stuff make sense. But look, Filoni did the same thing with the prequels. He made Clone Wars and made the prequels make sense, and at least gave us that Anakin and Obi-Wan brotherhood that we never got in the prequels. Yes. He gave us Ahsoka. I mean, my third favorite character in Star Wars behind Luke. So. If anybody can make sense of what is going on in the sequel trilogy, I think Filoni has a chance at doing it. But what I like the most about what got announced at Celebration is that they're going into other eras now. They are not scared to go back 3,000, 4,000 years, whatever it is, to the. Yay. So so
that's what I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited.
The problem is, in my opinion, and I think a lot of people would agree with this, is they were stuck in the Skywalker saga, and it just is so convoluted. Because, and I've talked about this before, but think about if Ahsoka and Luke walked into that throne room with Vader and Palpatine sitting there at the end of Episode 6. Now that we know that Ahsoka was around, she would have known she was part of the rebellion because she had her ties with Hera, and she would have definitely talked to Leia. So she would have known Luke was looking for Vader, and as soon as she heard that name, she would have known to go look for him too. So, there's a lot of things that I feel like they could mess up from the original trilogy by staying in this era. So I'm glad that we're going to span out some.
Yeah.
I mean, they've already done so much of retconning stuff in the novels. So
yes, exactly.
With different things. So that's
the Ahsoka novel
unfortunate thing
has been retconned a few times.
I know.
Yes.
It kills me.
Such a great novel too.
Yeah.
The Skywalker saga is just so convoluted at this point. It's hard for anyone to really keep track of what's actually canon and what isn't. Right. And that's a huge problem.
Yeah, the original trilogy was written before any of these characters were thought of or any of these storylines were thought of. So it's hard to make sense with the original trilogy.
It definitely is. I'm not going to say it isn't. Yeah. But they could have gone in such a better way.
Yeah.
100%.
It's
better ways.
But again, like I said, we're getting the separation of the Jedi and Sith, which should be thousands of years in the past. Hopefully, I'm hoping it's not just 1,000. I'm hoping they actually go back. And they announced. Let's get into this. So these are the eras that we have now. We have the Dawn of the Jedi, which is going to be the Mangold movie, the separation of the Jedi and the Sith. Then we have the Old Republic, which is interesting that they're actually saying those words because now Knights of the Old Republic is a possibility. You know, I've been saying for years, Keanu Reeves needs to play Darth Revan.
Yes, that would be badass.
The fall of Revan from Keanu, I think, would be
the
culmination of his career.
Gosh, that'd be peak Keanu Reeves right there.
Then we have the High Republic, so that's flash forwarding a little bit, and then the fall of the Jedi, which is basically the prequel era, the reign of the Empire, the Age of the Rebellion, the original trilogy, the New Republic, the rise of the First Order, and the New Jedi Order, which is the Rey trilogy that we are going to get into. So I guess we can actually start there. Rey trilogy. What does everybody think about them bringing back Daisy Ridley and going 15 years in the future, they said, and telling the reimagining, I guess, New Jedi Order?
I have opinions.
I think
I have opinions. I'll say that.
It's cool they're bringing her back and they're getting her a different writer, but I just think that it's so tainted by the sequel that it's going to be hard for it to be do better than the sequel, because I feel like just having her in it, people are going to have the feeling like they had when they went to go watch the sequels and just not go see that film.
Yeah, but I feel like this.
And I don't know that it should have been the first film coming out.
I don't think it was them that were the problem, though. To me, the story was the problem, not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So she was a part of the story. So what I'm saying is people are going to associate her with that.
I thought they were good. I thought Poe, Finn, and Rey together were great.
Characters, yes, but
story no.
Story matters.
Cannot justify any of those three because. I'm sorry. Listen,
and a lot of people are going to link that character to that story and not go see it.
And Finn in those movies was goddamn horrendous. They set up Finn to be a non-force wielding Jedi, and you can't tell me they didn't.
No, they 100% did.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was just like, this is great. And then even in the posters, they had all of them with him just with the lightsaber in hand and all of that stuff. And I was just like, this is great. And they're setting it up perfectly. And then they just killed that storyline. And Poe.
Look, those movies suffered, though, from two directors fighting each other. That's what those movies suffered.
Yeah, I was going to say, episode 8 just says it all, honestly.
Yeah, episode 8 completely, he tried to completely get rid of what J.J. Abrams did. And then J.J. Abrams came back in 9 and said, no, none of that stuff makes any sense. We're going to do this now. And it's just that to me was just petty infighting that came out on the screen.
Episode 8 and 9 to me, episode 8 is just awful to me at this point. I literally cannot watch it. It's that bad to me. Then episode 9 is just the first 30 minutes of it are them rewriting episode 8 and retconning everything that happened.
Yeah,
and then them having the MacGuffin device to get to the Sith world. And then it's just Endgame 2.0 in space.
Marie
has. Go ahead. Yeah, now I'm interested.
I can see it. The wheels turn.
So
I'm open to having my mind changed, though.
I feel very differently, and I Force Awakens was what it was.
I didn't mind Force Awakens. I will say that. I didn't mind it.
It's my least favorite Star Wars movie.
Least favorite?
No, 8 is easily.
Even
Force
behind
Awakens.
Phantom Menace.
And 1, yeah.
The prequels are my Star Wars.
Attack of the Clones?
Attack of the Clones is my third favorite Star Wars movie.
No, I have a much higher respect for the original the prequel trilogy than I did before. I will admit that. There was a lot of hating going on. There was a lot of hating.
This leave studio button is looking really nice now.
I know, I get it a lot.
I'm interested. So the sequels, go ahead.
Yeah, so, and then episode 8, when I left the theater, my response was, I didn't not like it. I didn't love it. I was just like, I don't quite get where they went.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
I get that.
Episode 9 Oh my God. It is probably, I would say, behind Rogue One, it is my favorite Star Wars movie.
Really?
Rogue One is
Yes.
your favorite. Okay, that's
Rogue One's my
interesting. I
favorite.
love that.
Actually, you know, I don't hate that opinion though. That because Rogue One is
that's
really
not at
good.
all.
Yeah, Rogue One is a really good movie.
Rogue One's amazing. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
But
My problem is
especially for being a spin-off, basically, or not a spin-off, but
So
the
I
fight
had two
scenes
issues.
sucked so much.
Yes.
no,
I have one huge issue and one kind of small issue that I feel is a huge issue. So
maybe I need to go back and rewatch
one
Rogue
huge
One.
issue is so
Rogue One was great.
when Rey's standing there in front of Palpatine and all the voices start talking.
Oh,
The fact that it wasn't actual Force Ghost standing behind her really upset me.
Yeah.
And the one little thing is even John Boyega said this. So there's the scene where they're running after they meet Lando, and they're running from the stormtroopers or whatever they're called, the New Order troopers, whatever you want to call them. And they have the jetpacks and they're flying. And he's like, they fly now? And literally they've been around since the Clone Wars. Like,
yeah.
But maybe the First Order troopers didn't.
That's the only justification I can see because he's 100% right.
It's just, to me, it's so big. And I know it's small, but to me, it's just so big because it's so dumb. It's like, they've been flying since
it's like, have you never seen a Mandalorian before with a jetpack?
Right.
Like,
I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
You've seen a bunch of like at least bounty hunters. Come on now.
Yeah, exactly.
But guys, I mean, so here's the biggest thing too. I will say this for me was another big, I think, letdown was that I feel like set up for Leia to be her master. And if that would have been the reason she took the mantle of Skywalker, that would have made so much more sense to me.
Yes.
The fact that she just kind of says, I'm Skywalker now, and they really don't give that impact of like who the impact was, because Luke, it definitely wasn't Luke. He definitely didn't influence her.
Yeah,
so it had to be Leia, and we see a little bit of it, but I don't feel like we saw enough of it.
It just felt like she was just like, well, I don't like my name, so I'm gonna just change it.
Like
that's really just what it felt like.
Yeah.
So I do have an opinion, a thought. So I didn't like Rey to begin with. I thought she was overpowered. I thought, where did this person come from? What is happening? And then Rise of Skywalker, she's Palpatine's granddaughter, and she overcomes her family history. She overcomes the evil in her family history to be good.
Yeah.
Like, she overcomes all this badness to be good. And I think that her taking the Skywalker name is her saying, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm putting all this behind me. I am not that person. I am going to take control of my life. And that, to me, that's really powerful. But I get how it frustrates people. But for me, that was really powerful.
Okay.
I
get that. I definitely get that.
Enough to bash on those three movies, because I will bash on them, but I don't want to.
No, we're not here to hate. Don't hate
but I am hopeful and I am looking forward to these new movies, to be very honest. I'm curious on how they establish a new Jedi Order. I'm curious to see what kind of ways they actually tie in Rey and other characters, because I would imagine and would hope we'll get some of the people that we have in the universe now, because it is only 15 years after those. So I would hope that we'll get to see at least some people that we know. And then I'm like I said, I'm just hopeful to see where the Jedi Order at least goes. Yeah. So I don't think it'll be all focused on Rey, and I think we will see more of maybe the diplomatic ways of the Jedi Order.
Yeah,
sure.
And I hope Finn better be in it. Yes. Like, because Finn has the Force. Like, he should definitely be in it.
Yeah.
So if he's not in it, then I'll be like, y'all.
Honestly, I hope Poe's in it. I loved Poe. Honestly, that was my one most. I think he was my favorite character.
They'll probably try to get him back. I would assume they would try.
Have Poe flying them around the galaxy.
Yeah, I really liked his character. It was just he just reminded me of Han Solo a lot, and I liked it.
So in Return and or Rise of Skywalker, there's the scene with Finn and all the other people that left the First Order, and he says to them, that's the Force. That was the Force telling you to leave. Yeah. So I'm wondering if maybe they try to have that bring them back as like her first like students.
That would be really
maybe a few of them, as her students. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah. That would be neat.
Look, there's stuff they could do with this. I definitely hope they get all three of them back.
Yeah,
Finn deserves and has earned his chance for redemption. I think he was definitely underutilized. I mean, they basically for a whole movie sent him to a casino for an entire movie. I don't understand that.
Yeah,
you know what I think this Rey trilogy could really do. I think it could bring Rey. I think it could bring her redemption from the fans' perspective, not from the story perspective, but from the fans' perspective, and people actually enjoying her character.
Yeah, look, and I mean, there's a lot of this stuff. With the prequels, there was, from some of the older fans. Unfortunately, we were very mean to the prequels for a very long time. But it doesn't have to be that way again. I don't think we have to leave
my Ewan McGregor alone. You understand me?
Look, okay, nobody argues that Ewan McGregor was not the greatest part of all this. He was all the best three movies. I mean, come on, sure. Like seriously.
Him and Chris
Hayden.
Christian Hayden. Yeah.
No, Dooku. Sorry.
See, this is what I'm saying. People want to give it so much shit, but the more you want to talk about it, the more you're like, look, this character.
The problem is the story, not the characters itself.
Really good.
The problem is the story, not the characters. Everyone loves the characters.
Well, see, no, I wouldn't disagree. I would somewhat disagree with that because I actually think the story is there. The story is there. It's just not told well. Things. The creepy stalker Anakin stuff, I just can't get past.
Yeah, and especially if you're a movie only kind of person. If you're a movie only person, going from episode 2 to 3 makes zero sense whatsoever. Because if you have none of the prior knowledge of the Clone Wars show, I feel like going from 2 to from Anakin's
I understand that
like development perspective, because he just goes from Anakin and Obi-Wan being buddy to them now wanting to kill each other basically.
Yeah, I will say the ramp
dark
up
side does.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like there's no build up from movie to movie.
Yeah,
you only get that with the TV show.
I get what you're saying, but I would say still overall I just feel like where Attack of the Clones sort of left me, and then like you said, where we picked up in episode 3, I do think that jump is a little jarring. Yeah, but I do think episode 3 is such a strong ending to that trilogy that it's hard to argue against.
I love the ending. I do love the ending of it. I was going
to say the ending scene is probably one of the best Star Wars scenes, in my opinion.
Oh, for sure.
One of the greatest lines ever, in my opinion, in Star Wars is said by Anakin to Padme when he says, we're not allowed to love, but compassion is. I can't remember exactly now how he says it, but passion is basically unconditional love, and that's what we're supposed to do. So I think we are. So I love that line. I just think the way he says it is great. But yeah, so we're getting off topic. Guys. Let's try to get back to Star Wars celebration.
I was going to say that's what you have when you put 5 people into a very tight conversation about Star Wars. Like it just gets to the prequels and how much they sucked at some point.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
I love it.
I'm kidding.
I love it.
Yeah, no, the prequels. I love the prequels. I'm not gonna lie.
I like 2 and 3. Fine. I don't like 1. 1 to me can just be erased and be fine.
Don't hate on any Star Wars. Just we have to learn that there's just a lot of stuff that you might not like. Or not a lot, but there's gonna be stuff.
Okay, yes, Darth Maul is the best part of episode 1 by far.
Come on, how do you
is by far the best part.
That is a waste of filler. That is a waste of
filler. Qui-Gon Jinn, I need more of Qui-Gon.
Yes, 100%. I love Qui-Gon.
Hey, we got Tales of the Jedi. We got some really good stuff. Some really good stuff with Qui-Gon, man. And Liam Neeson's son played him, which I really loved. I thought that was a great little part of that. So another thing we talked about, Return of the Jedi is coming back into theaters for its 40th anniversary. I would love to see that in the theaters. That would be awesome.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, I definitely will see it experience. If I'm able to. I'm definitely gonna.
But here's the interesting one. We talked about it a little bit. So James Mangold, who just made Indiana Jones 5, is going to be making a Jedi versus Sith, the separation of the Jedi and Sith, the original separation, I guess. Yeah. So what do we think about this? Because this is interesting.
I think this is going to be a great turning point for the Star Wars lore. And a lot of the geeks than all of us that really love to know the backstories and to understand like where this actually all started from, the origins of it all, and to actually get it on the big screen would be amazing.
I think that's the most important thing. It's like getting it to the broader audience of Star Wars and not just the super passionate people like us. Yes. You know, not just people that are reading all the books and watching all the movies and TV shows that come out, but the people that are just on Disney Plus every day, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Like they're just going to see this be like, wait, what is this? Wait, this doesn't have any characters that I've ever seen before. Well, now they know who these people are, like Darth Revan, Darth Bane, you know.
Oh, it's going to be before all of that.
No, that's what I'm saying. But like, you know what I mean? Like,
before all of that, hopefully.
Yeah, it's going to be 4,000 years before the prequel. So, I mean, But, you know, you don't understand what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, no, I really like this idea because this, I think, is the story to tell. I think you have to go back in the lore. I'm also interested to see how they compare this to Legends, to story from Legends that is, you know, this is somewhat going to be based off of. Are they going to show the fall of, what is it? Is it Dathomir? Is Dathomir the original Sith planet? I can't remember now the name, but the original planet. No, well, when they split, it was Jeddah and Dathomir. I think were the original two that they split to. Jeddah was where the Jedi's went, and Dathomir was where the Sith went. I can't remember. Oh, where the Zabraks are from. Where Darth Maul's race, where his people are from, is the original planet. Apparently, it all kind of happened. Now that's in Legends. Again, I don't, you know.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Who knows what they're actually going to do in this show or in this movie? But they also, as I said earlier, they announced the eras and they announced the Knights of the Old Republic era. So, could we get some stuff in between those eras that sort of lead us into the Knights of the Old Republic and sort of get us there from this split? I mean, I think that would be an interesting way to tell that sort of storyline in that time period.
Yeah. What I'm seeing is that it's the James Mangold movie is going to be 25,000 years before New Hope.
Perfect.
Oh, hell yeah.
So like nothing modern even.
So this
and what I keep seeing is that it's about the discovery of the Force, like the dawn of the first Jedi.
Right. Okay. Yep. So this is going to be fun. Yeah. So this is going to be, you know,
that's going to be very
fighting the Force.
Yeah.
The different philosophies at that point, you know, learning the Force.
Right.
Yeah. So okay.
This will be basically their first interactions in actually Force wielding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is what I have been waiting for.
Seriously.
Oh yeah.
No, this actually sounds really cool. Really, really cool. Okay. I like that a lot. Now that you said 25,000 years, actually, that sounds really cool. Okay.
That's basically prehistoric at this point for Star Wars.
I mean, that's not even anywhere close to. Yeah. So there's a big gap then between Dawn of the Jedi and the Old Republic. That's big gap.
And you know, it's going to be very interesting to see what these first Force wielders are going to use the Force like how they start to understand how to use it.
Oh, we're not going to have any lightsabers.
Nothing like that. And we're not going to have, you know, like they, you know, the Jedi's jumping 30 feet in the air. Like we're not going to have any of that. It'll be like them moving a rock to let water flow from a stream or something like it's going to be like super basic stuff. And it's going to be really cool to see their progression.
You know, well, what if they sort of explore it where, you know, sort of different parts of the planet kind of experience it in different ways? Maybe there's like more elemental type people.
We do know that
there's like Avatar kind of, maybe like an Avatar feel almost.
We do know that there's that one part in the in that one planet where the dark side is extremely strong, and basically the dark side
is one of them, and the what is it called from where Luke is in the sequel trilogy?
Octo,
yeah.
That planet has a very strong.
There are places and planets that have stronger, capacities for either light, dark, or probably just the Force in general. So I'm sure they'll have different influences that way in this aspect.
Mustafar is another dark side planet.
Yes.
There's a lot of that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I'm just excited to be getting away from Tatooine.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
It better be settled Tatooine.
Okay, what if
years before?
Okay. What if the beginning of the Jedi is on another desert planet?
Oh my gosh! What a revolutionary idea!
I will be done with Star Wars at that point.
No, I don't think they'll do that. That's just
give us an ocean planet. Just
give me a volcano. Water world.
Yeah, I don't care. Give me One Piece, but Star Wars. I'm watching One Piece right now, so that's all that's on my mind.
Jedi pirates.
Yeah. Screw it. Whatever.
The Caribbean.
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah. Seriously, give me Johnny Depp, and we'll be all right.
Oh no! I don't want Johnny Depp in Star Wars. I feel like he would be too jarring. I feel like he would take me out of it. Because he would start being Johnny Depp, and I would be like,
"No, you make him Jar Jar Binks. You make him Jar Jar Binks. You redeem the character right there."
I'll tell you one theory that I would get behind now, since they brought him back, is Darth Jar Jar. If they could do that, I'll get behind that theory.
No. I've always been a proponent for Darth Jar Jar. It just makes sense. It does.
I love Jar Jar. It's great.
Unfortunately, it makes sense.
I love that.
I would love Darth Jar Jar. I think everyone would, and they'd never do it.
Well, just think, like Attack of the Clones has a whole new meaning when he's like fumbling all over those little like ball bombs, and he's throwing he's just fumbling.
Everything's different now.
Everything's different.
Isn't there a scene where he's in the background? He waves his hand real quick to influence somebody.
It looks like he does. Yeah.
Come on, it's a little too obvious at this point.
That's the one theory I've always wished was actually.
He's really in this one.
Oh, I've been down the rabbit hole, my friends.
Yes,
I'll show you the dark side.
So I think that's definitely, we're all excited for the main gold, right? I mean, this is going to open up a whole new era of Star Wars that get away from the original trilogy and all that stuff, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm so tired of this, like 100-year gap that or not even 100-year gap. Like it's just so boring.
Acolyte.
I like this. I will
like that
enjoy this
only 100 years though, because we might get Plagueis. We could get Plagueis.
But this gap that we're gonna get right now is going to be one of the best ones. I think one of the most refreshing ones. I should say.
I'm just so tired of the Skywalker era. Like it's
and everything we've seen from the indie trailer. I mean, you definitely want somebody like that directing this. I think, right? I mean, that looks
we
like
find
exactly
out that the very first Force wielder was no one else but a Skywalker.
It had to be a Skywalker.
I would be
Skywalker.
I would genuinely be mad.
I think every fan would. Every single fan would be.
That is the point where I stop watching Star Wars and say it doesn't exist anymore.
No, we're not doing that.
Hold on, John. Are you really going to tell me that if they tell you that the very first Force wielder was a Jedi or a Skywalker?
If it's a Skywalker on a desert planet, we're done. This shirt.
But there's 3 suns, and not 2, guys. There were 3 suns on this planet.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, such a huge difference. Wait, but this sand is different than the other sand.
Yeah,
this sand's different than the other sand.
Yeah, this sand.
Yes, white sand instead of yellow sand.
Come on, there's many differences. Okay? There's sand farmers, not moisture farmers. I mean, there's a lot of differences here. Huge differences.
You are ridiculous, sir.
His name is Uncle Ty. It's not even Owen.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of differences.
It's not even Owen.
No, it's Skywalker, SKI, not SKY.
Right.
It's 100% different. Different
No,
lineage.
it's A. It's not ER. It's A.
Yeah, Skywalker.
So then there was another announcement. Now this one I'm actually interested to get into. So this is going to bring the whole Mandalorian universe together. The Filoni movie. What do we think this could be about? I mean, they're pitching it, or at least people are speculating, I should say, that it's going to be Avengers, Thrawn is Thanos-esque, and Avengers team-up type movie where they get everybody. Boba Fett.
Can see
Thrawn everybody back.
Thrawn is a big enough threat. He's definitely smart enough. And if he's come back from everything that we've seen in Rebels, he's obviously come back with way more knowledge, and we all know that Thrawn is nothing but a knowledge seeker.
Yes.
So, I mean, if he's come back,
he's the only alien that the Empire accepted, that Palpatine accepted into the Empire.
If he is to come back from all of this, he has definitely come back with a wealth of knowledge, and I'm sure he's going to be definitely putting it into use. And I only imagine what he's learned from the what were those whale-esque space things? What were they called? Yeah. I can only imagine what he's learned from them and where he's gone from when they've taken him. Spoiler alert if no one's seen Rebels.
Yes.
But
spoilers.
I mean, like I said, I'm very interested to see what he can come up with, because Thrawn is nothing but a great mind in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely considered, he, like I said, he's the only alien that's been that Palpatine allowed into the Empire because of his intelligence and his strategic ability. So he's easily one of the smartest people. But my question is this. So if this is going to be a team up against Thrawn, he's going up against Boba Fett, the Mandalorian, Bo-Katan, Ahsoka, and at that point it'll be Ezra. That right there, I don't know if he's that good.
Oh, no, but I'm sure he will have.
Wait, hold on. Will Luke also be there or no?
Maybe.
That's because we did.
But I'm
get
sure
Luke.
he will set himself up to have enough allies to take care of himself. I'm sure
this
there
has
is
to be
something
huge.
in the world.
This has to be huge. Yeah. I mean, look, I'm excited to see it. Thrawn's definitely up there for me. Like I said, anything with Ahsoka, I want to watch. So, Ahsoka is going to be something I really want. I just hope they can get at least 2 or 3 seasons of Ahsoka first before we get to this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, I trust Filoni. I mean, I trust Filoni. So he loves these characters too much to let them get too insane, in my opinion. I don't think he'll let the stories get too crazy.
Oh. Question?
Sure. Yes. Absolutely.
Let's go away.
I don't know French, but Frenchie, where are you at? Can you can you translate for us?
Our residential Frenchman, please.
Absolutely. No, yeah, but please ask away.
So for me, I an unpopular opinion, I'm sure, but I want.
In the third, does their encounters in Obi's show affect in any way their dialogue?
Oh.
Yes, and yes. Okay, so there's no, and I'll tell you why. There's a famous line in episode 4 that Obi-Wan says to Luke when he says, "Your father wanted you to have this lightsaber, and Uncle Owen didn't want you to follow this crazy old man on another adventure like your dad did." That never happens in the prequels. That never happens in Clone Wars. That never happened. The only time Owen ever meets, look who is here. Look at this guy.
What? We have a special guest.
The only time he meets Owen, or Obi-Wan meets Owen, is in episode 3 at the end when he gives Luke to him, or Luke to him, right? And Anakin only met Owen once, and that, or not Owen, but Owen, when he was there to go get his mother, and then he came back, and that's the only interaction he ever has with them. And that weird line of your uncle never wanted. He had no part in Anakin's like decisions at that point at all.
Well,
So it's a
Obi-Wan
weird
was
line.
all about lying, so.
That is true. That is a very good. No, it's a very good point. You are not wrong. Oh, look at this. We got another one. No, but you're not wrong there because he likes to say from a certain point of view.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's just weird. But
Stop.
I love it. So what?
Not you.
Oh, I was gonna say, what did I do now?
What did you do?
I probably did something. But no, go ahead, Marie. Where were you? What you were gonna?
So I was just gonna say unpopular opinion, but I want more Book of Boba Fett. Actually,
Yeah, you won't hear no from him. Yeah.
Yes, I adored that show, and I would love more of it. And I hope that they. I mean, I guess that I don't know. I guess they're not gonna do anymore, but I guess that'll come to a culmination in the that movie in Filoni's movie.
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah. Yeah, I don't think they're done with Boba Fett, but I unfortunately don't think we're gonna get a second season because just fans didn't accept it, and unfortunately, because again, he's my favorite character.
Ratings, I don't think.
I love that show a lot more than most people do. My really only big gripe with that show is the Power Rangers.
No, that was terrible.
Whisper asking, was Grievous and Dooku aware of Sidious's plan? Did they know he was Palpatine during the battle over Coruscant?
Yes.
Was Dooku's death planned or an opportunistic one?
Well, no. Dooku's plan was Dooku's death was kind of in the moment. It just happened. Anakin got the best of him, and he was just like, "Get rid of him before he tells you what I did." I was kind of just like, "All right, no, kill him now before he says anything."
And I don't think Sidious.
Yeah, they both knew his plan.
Yes, but I don't think Sidious ever let on too much. To be very honest, I don't think Sidious would have given all of the
everything, but I mean, they knew who he was. Is what I mean. They knew.
Obviously, Dooku. I feel like Dooku obviously knew way more than Grievous did.
Yeah, Tales of the Jedi makes it pretty clear that Dooku knew a lot.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I think at the end, it was Dooku didn't think that Palpatine was going to have him killed.
Well, Dooku was one of the ones that saw it coming too. He saw it coming. Qui-Gon and Dooku were two of the Jedi that saw it coming.
Yeah.
The dark side. They saw Palpatine, not him, and not who he was. But Qui-Gon said to the council, like, I'm going to leave the council if you guys don't take this threat seriously. And even Yoda's like, we don't see it. What do you see? He could see the dark side doing something in the background. He just didn't know what it was. And then, of course,
honestly, I wish they wouldn't have killed him off and they would have done like a Maul thing where like somehow he would have escaped and somehow later there would have been a face-off and then he would have met his demise. But just because like how smart he was and how powerful he was, like to me, I wish it would have ended differently.
I honestly never understood how Dooku just kind of gives up.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he's just like, all right, I'm on my knees now.
Well, I think in the book, there's a longer scene where Dooku
when he's on his knees, he
Anakin
thinks.
I
was going to say he thought that the Emperor was going to save him, and so
I think that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Well, in that you got to think also in that moment, he thought that they were going to leave Obi-Wan behind and kill Dooku, and he was just going to be able to take over with Anakin at his side. That's what he thought. He thought it was just going to be that easy, and it didn't work out that way because Anakin was like, "I'm not leaving my master," and okay, I'll kill this dude, but that's because nobody's looking. I mean, it's really what happened. I mean, really
that's definitely true.
Unfortunately, he's just like, all right, nobody else is looking. Obi-Wan's passed out. Nobody sees what I'm doing right now, so and you're not going to tell anybody. So,
not wrong.
It's kind of true.
You're not wrong.
Hey, Don,
can I
ask you a question, Mike?
Of course.
Well, I was just wondering, Marie, Padawan Talk, nice to meet the both of you. I'm Midnight Cinema. I'm usually here, but I don't know. I know nothing of Star Wars. So
I don't know why Jason Statham.
Oh, of course. We just had to crank it up with our transporters, but it's all right. I'll bring back my show. Well, my question to the Lord here is this. So, I hear that James Mangold, one of my favorite directors working today, is doing a Dawn of the Jedi type biblical epic sort of movie.
We were just talking about yes.
Okay, see, so clearly I'd missed that. I was with John earlier. The only problem, I just wanted to know what your thoughts on it were. I knew at some point I was going to ask you about them, and I figured that there'd be no better time than now. So
I think the consensus on the council was we hated it. So
my God,
oh no,
no! I think we're all
twisting
excited
the words
for
of the people.
I think we're all excited for it, man. It's supposedly set. We said 25,000 years ahead.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a whole new crazy time period they're touching on here.
Super stoked.
Yeah, I think we're all very excited. This is going to be a great I think it's going to be a great series, and it's going to be great to see where they go with the beginning of the Force.
Yeah. Yes.
So then it sounds like, then Indy 5 sounds like it's going to be, even though it's not related, I mean, it's still under Lucasfilm, I believe, but with James Mangold helming this, that kind of, I guess it's safe to say that Indy 5 must be a hit on there. It must be a hit that they have, considering that they're having him go ahead and do the next Star Wars project.
That's an interesting way of wording that question. That's actually very interesting. I mean, no. So, I mean, official canon is that Vader is the chosen, or was the chosen one. Yeah, I mean, that is sort of at least as far as I know, that hasn't been changed as canon yet.
Well, Sidious didn't really technically live, though.
What, after 6?
After 6, because...
Well, he force transferred his body.
He force transferred, so he's not...
I mean, but he did technically live.
He
figured it out. He finally figured it out.
He did.
Yeah.
Which, here's another weird thing that I would like to talk about, actually, in this whole Sidious cloning thing. So,
oh God,
why did he kill the Kaminoans if they knew how to do the cloning so much better than anybody else? Why would he kill them all?
I don't know.
Why would he
well,
just
he
force
didn't
them?
Really, right? Because Bad Batch,
there's only 2 alive. In Bad Batch season 2, there's only 2 alive.
So maybe his idea was that he killed most of them except what was needed,
It was probably because he wanted to hide, because they knew a lot more than some other people did about the truth behind the Order 66. So maybe he was just trying to cover his tracks.
But I mean, you would think he'd be able to get their best scientist at least before he killed the rest of the people, is what I mean, and took them and put them just somewhere where they can't escape, and they're just forced to, work on the cloning for him.
But isn't that what they tried to do during the Bad Batch? One of the top scientists,
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just weird that he just didn't even try. If he's so interested in cloning, you would think he would keep the best cloners and at least their science, their best people around. I don't know. It's just a weird thing in it that I was like, that's weird.
Once again, as I said before, it's too convoluted now with this.
Yeah. No, it's just a weird little thing. But I want to get back to this. So since Sidious, I want to get this right. So since Sidious lived in 6, the Yoda prophecy wasn't misread. So it wasn't misread. Yeah, no, it wasn't misread. Darth Vader or Anakin is the balancing of the Force, because eventually he did kill Sidious, and that is,
his
considered
redemption.
the balance.
Yeah.
Yes, it does retcon though. Definitely, Sidious still being alive does sort of retcon that in a way.
Oh yeah,
in a way.
Why the Force wasn't balanced yet?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because in there's a comic. I can't remember the name of it now.
I just wish the sequels were never a thing and they would just ended it after.
No, that's not fair.
Look,
oh my God!
I hate the fact that they don't actually explain that Sidious was a clone, because the only way you know that is if you read the comic, and that's the only time that they mention it. Who is it that senses it? Kylo, isn't it?
Well,
I mean, they talk about the strand casts. I mean, I know that's a weird term, but
right.
They do talk about it in the movie.
Maybe I'm creating the movie, but I feel like they never talked about it once about how Sidious was a clone.
Well, they didn't know until the third movie, until episode 9, because that's when Finn is saying that or Poe says that Sidious is back. That they didn't.
Yeah, but they don't say he's a clone. They just say he's back. Well, they never.
Okay,
they
I don't know if they know it. I guess
cloning. How does he put it?
Because I don't remember
dark magics, like Beaumont Ken says that about like how the dark side has cloning and dark magics and something else. I can't remember the line exactly, but I used to know it.
Sure, no, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
we don't.
You're probably right. I'm just.
I couldn't even remember one of my favorite lines
for my mind. Honestly,
you come to the Jedi Academy. You must know every word by Bible. You must.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No.
Recite every terrible word uttered in episode 1. Now go.
Yeah. Right. No. Nothing like that. Yeah, I don't know. I think for me, I think the cloning would have made more. Actually, I kind of liked Andy Serkis as Snoke. I kind of would have liked it to just been him as the big bad in the end. I really think
it'd have been cool to have been a different bad guy, you know?
Yeah.
Just explain it and make it make sense.
And I'll tell you what, that first movie, he is creepy.
Yeah.
When you're only seeing him over the holograms, like I wouldn't want to fuck with him personally. Like,
oh, here we go. Okay. No, that's not fair. Yeah, that's unfair.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Look, unfortunately, he sold it. Yeah, I mean, it sucks, but he gave up control, and he didn't say that nothing going forward couldn't be part of canon. So,
and not only that
wasn't part of the deal. So, unfortunately, he didn't have that say.
And when you sell your IP,
right.
It's not your control anymore.
Yeah,
I don't think Disney would have bought it if he would have said, "Oh, you can't touch what I did." Like, you have to make everything out of my canon.
You kind of assume the advisee role, and they can either adhere to what you want or be like, "Nah, we're going to go in our own direction." And unfortunately, I think they might have tried, but they also had their own thing they wanted to do.
Apparently, I can't drink tonight. God damn. Sorry, guys.
And as a result, like, of Disney acquiring like Star Wars, Marvel, the Indiana Jones franchise, I don't know that these changes have been all that good. Like I think there's advantage. I think there's advantage to having different like creative minds work on things. I mean, like the Star Wars games, right?
Yeah.
Different. It's not all under one IP, and how many of those games do we
EA, though? It's all under Epic and EA.
Oh, it is? Okay. But you have, within those, you have the different gaming.
Well, we're getting a floating film. We're getting a Mangold film. We're getting a Ray trilogy. I mean, we're getting different point of view.
But it's not a different company that they hire to go and make the game. It's under EA, but EA goes out and hires like the private.
Disney is never going to go. What are they going to go to Sony and say make a movie for us? There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah, but what I'm just saying is that I don't know that everything.
Even Spider-Man, when they were made the deal with Sony, they were like, "He's Marvel while he's under our movies." Like, there's no Sony in front of it.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right about that. I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't think they would ever do that. I don't see that. That would be weird.
I mean,
maybe if they got Pixar or not, Pixar involved, maybe that would be a way.
But if you go look at the numbers, like the hard numbers, the ratings for these shows have been low, and I'm hoping what they announced in Celebrations brings back the fandom, because I really do enjoy Star Wars. I just want good storytelling.
But we got that with Andor, and nobody liked it until it was over.
I didn't watch Andor. Like, I saw the trailer. It didn't entice me. Didn't interest me at all.
it's the best Star Wars show we've gotten so far as writing, directing, and acting goes, in my opinion.
Okay.
It's way better than Mandalorian in that sense.
Maybe I'll give it like a 1 episode.
I'll
Mandalorian try it out.
Is Star Wars, but Andor is, if you're an original trilogy fan, Star Wars. If you're a Rogue One fan, Andor is amazing. If you're a Rogue One fan, it's everything. What do we got here?
Suppose the argument of who is the holder of the canon, the original creative mind, even if Disney's content's good, like if Game of Thrones TV shows ending canon, unfinished books.
I get that. The only difference here is, again, he signed away all creative rights. He signed over Lucasfilm completely.
Whereas with Game of Thrones, like R.R. Martin still has a lot of sway and say into what goes into the final production. Like, I don't know how he structured that deal, but George Lucas basically just sold away all his rights and everything with his deal to Disney.
Yeah, well, George Lucas was really detracted after the prequel hate that he got, and he just didn't want to do Star Wars anymore. And unfortunately, the fans drove him to it. I mean, we did, unfortunately.
Yeah,
it sucks, but again, I think just in this instant, it's a little bit different because, like I said, he signed over everything.
Yeah.
He gave away the company. It wasn't like he just said, "Here's Star Wars." They have Indiana Jones. They have anything under Lucasfilm. So it's kind of a little bit of a different in that sense.
That's the thing. Once you sell an entire company, even if you're the original creator, if you gave it away, that's it. Like, you can't, unless you're going to buy it back for triple or quadruple, whatever they've already made on it, you're out of the deal 100%. Like, you're not getting that. Well, you're not having any creative overview. You're not going to have any lore overview, any of it. You're gone.
The only thing about that too, I think the only really say he had in that deal was that Kathleen Kennedy would be the head of Lucasfilm.
Yeah,
I think that was really the only thing he had input on.
Turned out.
Yeah. Well, look, she's not Filoni. That's just the reality of it.
I think she's just gotten so much of like a huge pass, and I don't know how many more like films have to tank before they want to go with a different creative direction. And like Don, like you said, and maybe John and Dave are the guys to do it. Like, I think they do deserve to be given that chance. I just think
I don't know if I want just them two in charge anymore. I don't know if I want just Favreau and Filoni.
You're not loving everything that they're producing?
I am, but I don't think that's all we need from. Like, we can't just get what we got from Mandalorian and Boba Fett. Well, we need Andor type shows too. So,
well, no, you're not wrong about that, but I think as the overheads, as yes, you do this, yes, you can do this kind of thing, and they still have their own shows that they're doing. I feel like that would be a much better direction because then they can keep it tamed. They can't just have everybody doing whatever they want.
I would like to see them team up. I think it would be a 3-headed monster: Favreau, Filoni, and then somebody like Gilroy that did Andor. A more serious director that's a fan of the, and sort of have them three creatively bring things out. And then you can have Filoni and Favreau doing the sort of, more traditional Star Wars type stories. And you can have a serious side for the older fans. Because there's a lot of people that have been watching Star Wars since 1977 also. So that more serious and adult, style to Star Wars, I think does work. But it can't all be one or the other is what, I think the balance has to be.
Speaking of that, Don, which I'm glad you mentioned that because the Ahsoka trailer seems like it's getting back to the more serious tone, and I am all for that.
And from what everybody's saying, Skeleton Crew is very sort of, or not Skeleton Crew. Acolyte is more like Andor with lightsabers, which I'm super excited for if that's real, because I love those more. I love Andor so much. Like, it's hard for me to put it above Mandalorian, but it's close. It's really close as far as the shows go. I just love that more serious, gritty storytelling in Star Wars. I love, like, Rogue One. That scene on Jeddah is one of my favorite scenes. It's just them on a planet, just doing stuff and having this big battle. With the I love that.
And I've got to go back and watch Andor for sure.
Yeah, even with Bad Batch. When did we really like Bad Batch? When it was serious, when the stakes were high.
Yeah.
And I think that is the key to getting Star Wars in good graces with the fandom.
Yeah, no, it's all about story. You're not wrong about that. It's all about story. But I do think there's ways to tell Bad Batch story just in a more, not even mature way, but just I feel like that season should have just been shrunk down. Like I think that could have been a 10 episode season and give us just the core of the story you want to tell.
Like with the final season, maybe we're gonna get serious tone, wrap everything up.
You're kind of breaking up. You are breaking up.
I do like to talk like an android.
Yeah. I said you really just sounded like R2 there.
Yes, for sure.
All right. I guess I'll drop since my internet's unstable. But what I'm saying, like maybe season 3 of the Bad Batch will get that final serious story that ties it all together in a pretty bow, and
hopefully,
we'll see. We'll see.
But all right, I'm heading
out of here, man.
Yep. Thank you guys. Yep.
Have a good one, Noah.
You too.
Bye.
All right, so let's get into more of the show news. So here's
I'll be right back. You guys keep going though.
Here's a quote about Acolyte. Frozen meets Kill Bill.
Yeah, I saw that.
That is such a weird description for anything.
Like what?
Like I said earlier, it's like, what is it? Do you want to build an android?
I don't know. I don't know where they're going. But that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, but like, how?
I think what they're saying is maybe like the story may be more like Frozen, but we're gonna get that sort of Kill Bill vibe. It's more serious, sort
Hoth?
of. Hoth. Hey, look, Hoth is a great planet. Leave Hoth out of this, sir. They have tauntauns, and they will keep you warm all night. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta go for them.
I'm just really excited to finally get not an Imperial show, but a dark side show.
Yes.
That is what is exciting to me.
Absolutely.
Because back in Legends, I loved the Sith era books. Just learning about all the different Sith Lords and all the different things they did. Like, it was so interesting. So I'm excited to see where they go with the dark side.
There are so many. And that's, again, going back to what we were talking about earlier, that's why that Mangold movie excites me so much. Because if it's 25,000 years, we could get Darth Nihilus. We could get so much stuff in between there. So, but yeah, Acolyte is definitely, I think, except for Ahsoka, that's probably my most anticipated right now is Acolyte.
Dude, Ahsoka looks so goddamn good.
Yeah, this show I think it's going to be amazing. Look, we're getting a live action Hera, Sabine, Chopper. I mean,
God, I just
and we got Zeb. We just got Zeb a couple weeks ago. I mean,
that blew my mind
when they just peppered that in. I was just like, "It's Zeb! It's Zeb!"
He walks over, and I'm like, who? What's going on? And then he started talking, and as soon as his voice, I was like, "Oh, it's Zeb!" It was like,
because he's the only
like, "Oh my God."
the only one left.
Right.
I know, but it just for a second, I was just like, "Wait a minute, who is this?"
Yeah.
So yeah, them. I mean, come on, like that kind of stuff, you just can't.
And then the hologram, so great. Oh my God, the hologram that was in. I went and did a little play-by-play on the little hologram that I think Sabine had.
Yes,
in her thing, and I swear to God, it has to be Ezra Miller. It has.
It is. No, it is.
On his left-hand side, and the same type of outfit. It's Ezra.
Yeah, it's confirmed that it was him.
It's so great.
Yeah, no, they said that afterwards. So apparently they showed a remix trailer for Ahsoka at the Ahsoka panel. So they got to see a few more scenes, and they show Thrawn. They show the flip side of that scene where you Ezra standing there in the little hologram. So yeah, and I mean we knew that though. I mean this is all about Ezra. She's going after Ezra. She's going after Thrawn.
I just can't wait to see
who the heck are these other. So here's another interesting quote too that I think came out from this. Filoni said that so if you notice, the sabers are orange.
They're not red. Yes, I noticed this.
So in some of the original posters, Vader's lightsaber was actually orange. So what Filoni said though was that this is sort of a hint that these are not people. They are not who we think they are at first.
Huh.
I don't think they're going to be.
I don't know how to take that. But
I don't think they're going to be Sith. I think this is going to be something else. But
there's talk that they're maybe just loyal to Thrawn. They're not actually Sith. They're just Force users that are just loyal to Thrawn.
Okay. That's what I think as well.
Could this be a similar situation to are they the Sentinels and the
Inquisitors?
No, not the Inquisitors. The guards of the on Coruscant. Where they have the yellow lightsabers, could it be a similar situation then? Since it's because they all have yellow lightsabers, yellow sabers.
Yeah,
it could be a special, like I said, it could be a special guard within his ranks, and it's only Thrawn's like guards and stuff like that.
Right,
but it did look like there was a master that she's fighting, and then there's an apprentice, the older gentleman, and then the younger girl. So I'm definitely interested to see how that's going to play out too. If it's going to be two, or are they going to? Is it just going to be that it just happens to be two of them? Who knows? So, and then there's the third one that kind of looks like an Inquisitor too, that Ahsoka's fighting also. So, yeah. I'm just so excited for it. I mean,
we'll get answers when it comes out.
Ahsoka fan, so.
We'll get answers when it comes out.
Good.
It's August, man. I mean, we're really close. We're 3-4 months away now.
Yeah.
So man, I've been waiting for this show for 2 years. I just can't wait because I love her introduction in season. It's one of the best introductions.
I thought that was season 2.
Her in the fog in the woods fighting them. Yeah. Oh my god, love her.
And that really just kind of embodies what she was supposed to be, just in the shadows. You don't see her; she's just kind of there. Someone's gonna get cut down at some point. You don't know when.
I think this is what I love so much, that Kathleen Kennedy did not get in his way, and she's letting him do live action Rebels. She's just saying,
I love
go
it.
for it.
Yeah, I love when animated characters and characters from really any other media besides live action end up in live action.
Yes.
It's just so exciting.
Yeah, to see Ezra in live action is going to be one of the best.
I'm sorry, to get Chopper and Hera.
All of them.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
Sabine looks awesome,
man. She looks great. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, and the girl that plays Hera, she doesn't look bad. I think it looks fine. I think the makeup and everything look great.
Oh yeah,
everything with that at all.
Perfect.
Yeah,
I'm excited to finally get another colorful Twi'lek because honestly, those beige Twi'leks, just look a little weird.
Yeah, they're all just like green or blue or some shade of beige, and it's just really boring.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm excited to have the Hera being the a green Twi'lek again, because they've been doing all the Twi'leks the new characters we've seen seem to be beige Twi'leks, and so I'm just like,
apologies.
Yeah.
Apologies.
It's like there are purple ones too, guys.
Yeah,
a lot of
red.
Ones.
Yeah, I mean, you any color really.
If we could ever get a story in live action, that's what I want.
Twi'leks?
No, what we were talking about earlier, Lords of the Sith. I want that in live action so bad. So bad. That's one of my favorite storylines. Just them two stuck on a planet trying to get out and destroying people. Oh, it's so great. Yeah. I love it. So no, I'm definitely excited for Hera. She's she's easily one of the best characters in Rebels. I mean, she's up there for sure.
Oh yeah,
it's hard because that whole crew is so great. They all have their moments.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's an interesting thought. Could we get a Whitwer or a not Whitwer? What is his name that plays Kanan?
Freddie Prinze.
Freddie Prinze. Could we get a voice over of him talking?
I would love to actually just see Freddie Prinze as a Force Ghost. Give me Freddie Prinze.
No, don't do that. No, I don't want them to do that. But, I mean, there are moments in Rebels where we sort of they hint towards that they're talking to each other. Still,
yes,
yeah,
there's hints of that. So I'm wondering if maybe we get just a moment. That would be awesome. But yeah, I mean, Rebels season 6, I guess it would be, right? It ended at 5. I believe was the last season.
It ended at 5.
Yeah, so 6 live action. The only other thing they have to do in live action, in my opinion, is we got to get the short of Obi-Wan and Darth Maul in the final fight in live action. We got to get that live.
Yeah,
action.
That would be sick.
That would be a great fight.
Get Ewan McGregor, age him up a little bit, give him the beard, give him the Alec Guinness beard.
Oh yeah,
and let's have that live action battle.
And wouldn't that be
Ray Park's still out there, man? Ray Park can still do all those crazy flips and stuff. Let's get him in there for another chance at it.
Wait, but wouldn't that be Darth Maul with the robotic legs?
Yeah, I think it's CGI that in.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be the first time we see that live action too?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I would.
The first time we see him live action since. Oh well, he was in Rogue One at the end. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Solo.
Solo, yeah, right. I'm sorry.
Solo,
yes.
yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Which that was a huge miss for them. That Crimson Dawn spinoff with Maul and Kira was a great idea that they never hit on. That was a great idea. Them running the Crimson Dawn, that would have been a really cool spinoff to do.
Of course, they've really milked it with the comics.
Yeah.
That's the thing about Star Wars now. You got to be in the comics, or else you're not getting the good stuff. It feels like. I mean, other than Mandalorian and all that, but
there's a lot of great stuff they hide in the comics for sure.
Yeah, all the great storylines.
Oh, dude, the Darth Vader storyline is amazing.
Oh yeah, seriously,
really, really good. It's actually really good. The Afra series is really great. There's a lot of good.
Well, I mean, just the Thrawn storyline too.
Yeah, the Thrawn's really good.
We're only getting it now, and people have had it for years at this point if they've been into the books and comics.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean.
So, Acolyte, we talked about that. Let's talk about Skeleton Crew. That's another one. So, this is Stranger Things in Space with Jude Law. I mean, that sounds really cool. I will be honest. If they can pull that vibe off, then, yeah, that would be really cool. So there was a trailer at Celebration for this. We didn't get to see it. They got to see it there. From what people are saying, there is sort of two sides of the story. It's the kids getting lost in space, and we get to see actually the parents trying to look for them also. So this could be sort of, like Winona Ryder's character from Stranger Things, I guess, if you want to think of it that way.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of what do we think about that sort of approach to this, where it's sort of, this group of kids that are kind of trying to maybe solve a mystery or whatever they're doing, and then looking for them since they got lost?
I think it's a nice concept for sure, especially these kids can get lost anywhere. You can go to a planet, you can create an planet, you can go to a planet we haven't seen much of, you can do anything you want with this. And I think this would be a really nice aspect to maybe explore more of the worlds and give us more of a feel of the galaxy that's around us.
I just remembered this too. They also said that this was going to have more of an Amblin feeling. So E.T., that kind of Goonies, that kind of feel also. So I just remembered they said that. So, again, I mean, Jude Law, obviously, I'm not going to say no to that in Star Wars. But, yeah, if we can get that Stranger Things feel, that sort of like There's a mystery they have to solve. I heard somebody say that it would be cool if they were like they got stuck on a ship and it took off, and then they got lost in space that way. Maybe that would be a cool way to sort of do it. So
I think any variation of the normal Star Wars is great at this point because it just feels like it's so repetitive between the prequel, original, and sequel trilogy that, and it's just nice to have something different.
Sure.
Yeah, I think just having like everyday citizens.
Right.
Everyday people.
Yes.
It's not all Force users and Sith.
Right.
And,
right. Yeah. I really like that.
Or Mandalorians that are, super skilled fighters. It's just it's just normal people. Those people exist in the Star Wars universe too. We see them all over Coruscant. I mean, like they do exist.
No, it's
everyday kids getting into a bad situation, getting into trouble.
Shit, even on Tatooine, people exist.
Yeah, we are not going to Taji Station for power converters. We are not doing that.
Look, normal people exist on Tatooine too. It's not just Anakin Skywalker.
We have seen enough normal people on Tatooine for me. Enough normal people.
Or shit, actually, they don't need to be normal people. They can be aliens too. Because I mean,
Well, they did say that one of them is I can't remember the race now. That Max Sivo is the blue elephant type.
Or Tolan.
So yeah, something like So they said one of the kids is so they're going to have that flavor in there for sure.
I love that. Then I mean, they don't need to all be humans. That gets boring really quick.
Yeah,
if you ask me.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
I just love that line. Stranger Things in space. I just think that's such a great way. If this can pull it off, I think that's a cool way to sort of approach Star Wars.
Definitely a nice way to hook them in.
Yeah, the only thing is this isn't the Mandalorian universe. This isn't the Filoni universe. So it's going to all tie into Boba Fett and all that stuff. So we could get a Mandalorian cameo. We could get a Boba Fett cameo. So that's interesting. I don't know. I'm really excited for this show. I need to see a trailer first, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe that would be what would maybe
reassuring
maybe one way or the other. Yeah.
Well, hopefully within the next month or two, then probably since people already saw it at Celebration, obviously. Then
that's true.
Yeah.
I wouldn't see them holding on to it for 6 months or I wouldn't see them doing that.
Yeah, and no, that's fair. So I guess the last thing is there was one book that was announced. It's the High Republic Trials of the Jedi. I like that title only because we've heard a lot about the trials, but we've never really actually kind of seen the trials like played out. So I mean, we've seen sort of bits and pieces and kind of hints of what it is, but I'd like to actually see it or hear it, I guess, because I do audio. I do the audio books, but I would kind of love to see, kind of know what actually happens and how they play it out. So if that's what this is about, then that. So
I mean, even if it's about how they founded the trials, I think that would be a really nice way to maybe see the where the idea came from and how they started in the first place.
Right.
Sure.
Maybe it's a small group of Jedi that have all gone through the same experience, so that they say, "Well, if you can't do these things, then you can't join our ranks," or something like that. Yeah.
Sure. Anything, Marie? Do you know anything about the High Republic? No?
I do.
Okay.
But I am so behind right now.
Sure.
I just because of work and school.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, there's so many books, and I really enjoy the High Republic, and I will catch up.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. And I've only actually listened to 2 of the books from the High Republic, so I don't know as much about it, but
I said Don cheats. He listens.
Listening is reading.
Hey, dude, I'm telling you, those audiobooks are underrated, man. They do the voices, they have sound effects. There's some cool stuff happening in those audiobooks, man. It's really fun. It's like listening to them. It's crazy.
If I don't listen to it, I can't stay engaged.
I love the audiobooks, man. I love them. They're awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this. Like I said, I'll definitely check the. But there are other ones I want to catch up on first in the High Republic era, so I don't know when I'll actually get to this one. Right.
Yeah.
But the only thing about the High Republic for me is even some of the more serious ones are still YA. I think they're trying to stay in that sort of YA kind of feel for that time period, which makes sense. I mean, it's supposedly when the Jedi were just kind of this ethereal type, gods that were thought of, as just perfect kind of beings.
Yeah.
So I don't mind that feel of them. I would kind of think if they're going to go that route with this, though, since like I said with the trials, maybe have like 4 or 5 Jedi like that are training for the trials together. Then sort of the end of the book is the actual trials. Maybe it's just kind of them training together and stuff like that. So, and obviously there's going to be some kind of adventure they go or something. So yeah, I don't mind that at all. I really like what they're doing with the High Republic from what I've seen so far. So
yeah,
there's one I don't know. There's one where I can't remember the name of it now, but it's where the Master and the Padawan go to the space station and. The Nihilists are there and take the space station at that point. It's a really great story, really good book, really well done. So
I think
the name
I might be in the middle of that. May be the one that I'm in the middle of right now.
I've listened to that one. I listened to the other one where they have the big battle in space, the big space battle where the Nihilists first show their face. Or first show their self to the High Republic. Those are the only two I've listened to so far. So, but I like this era. I really do like this era, and I'm hoping the Acolyte can sort of bridge this area into the prequel trilogy. Because we could get some cool stuff. We could get Plagueis. We could even, if it goes long enough, we could get young Palpatine. And I think Tom Hiddleston is young enough and looks like Palpatine enough. At that time period, we could get Tom Hiddleston as young Palpatine. It might work. It
definitely could. That would definitely be an interesting story to tell.
I think he would work. I think he could pull it off.
Yeah.
And I also tying, Acolyte into the main High Republic characters. Sure. Vernestra Rowe, I saw that she's going to be in Acolyte.
Right.
And like an older Vernestra Rowe. And I think that's super cool because Vernestra has a light whip. And
yes, that's
right.
I want to see that.
Yeah, okay. That's really got me hooked immediately then. Just saying that. Yeah, absolutely. I want to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would actually like to see them play with more lightsaber styles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like even in the sequel trilogy, like that one dude had the sword that turned into like the whip type thing.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
With the bands and the lightsaber between it. They could really play with it, I think. That would be fun, yeah. That would be fun. Yeah.
I want someone to have like a fucking axe or a hammer fucking saber type thing. That would be fucking dope.
I mean, look, there's been a lot of stuff like that.
I was gonna say there's been lightsaber axes before.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they have some.
I know I've seen Legends. It before. Yeah. Legends. Yeah.
Legends is full of some crazy stuff for sure. So
now I do have a question for you guys, actually.
Okay.
So we're getting. Okay, so we've had the modern age of Star Wars. The Skywalker story part of the Star Wars. Okay. Now we're getting the past. Yeah. Do you think they're going to give us something in the future, say 500 to 10,000 years after, in like any range of that? At some point,
I would imagine eventually, yes. But I think right now they're going to focus on what they tying off what they have right now.
Yeah.
And then doing this whole backstory on the beginning of the Force. And then I think once that comes to an end, they will probably go to the future if they're smart, at least.
I would say not yet, only because they're gonna milk the 800, 900 years they can get out of Grogu.
No. I'm saying like 10, 15 years in the future.
No, I know what you're saying. I'm just saying they're going to milk Grogu until he's 800-900 years old. So we're going to get a lot of stuff with Grogu.
You know what? You're probably not wrong about that.
I know, right?
I'm not You're probably right, but I'm also not mad.
No,
I love Grogu. I love Grogu.
Gonna be mad. I'm just gonna be mad if we don't get him in a Mandalorian uniform.
Oh, he has to show up in a
Mandalorian.
Oh
yeah, especially now that he's got the little chest plate.
Mando Grogu so
now that he's got the chest plate, he's got to get the whole helmet.
If we don't get a little Mandalorian Grogu,
if you haven't looked up Mando Grogu, please treat yourself. That is some of the best images on Google right now.
Like give him 200 years to age up a little bit. He'd be a great Mandalorian.
Just
he really
would. Bo-Katan, as she's on her deathbed, hands the Darksaber to Grogu at whatever.
Gosh, that would be that
rules Mandalore for the next 800 years. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. You got to also think
happen.
If that were to happen, Grogu would be like holding this big ass thing that's 3 times the size as him, because he's only 50.
Yeah, he's
in Mandalorian. Yeah. So if she dies in 30 years, he's going to be 80. He's basically still a baby at that point.
Right.
So he's just
going to be like Luke's saber. It's just going to be lost into the wind, and then he's going to find it one day.
No, he's going to pick it. He's going to try to pick it up. He's just going to fall backwards. He's like,
no, look, I don't think it's a coincidence that they brought Grogu back so fast.
Oh, I love that a lot.
Come on.
That is cool.
Oh, that's so great.
Man. Who doesn't want
Okay, so here's the problem with that, though. He's probably 300 years old at that point.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We're going a little bit into the future for that one. But, yeah, that'd be awesome to see that. Because as far as I'm concerned, Grogu is a Mandalorian.
Bo hands down the mythosaur to him. Bo says, have my mythosaur. Yeah. She's riding the mythosaur. Oh, I think that's happening.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. That's what I want to see, because that scene in the living water scared me a little bit. I was like, whoa, that's a really big thing.
Yeah.
That thing with the armor are some of my favorite scenes from this season. Her scenes with the armor are amazing. So great.
Yeah.
She's like, you actually saw a mythosaur? She's like, no, I actually saw one. It wasn't a vision. I saw it.
It was kind of spine chilling, because it's just it's great. I thought they were extinct. No, I saw one.
Yeah.
I mean, and she basically said to her, and she's like, the armor is the one that's like, no, I don't care what, I don't care if Mandalorian is destroyed or not. You either have to go bathe in the water somehow, or you're not a Mandalorian anymore. And she was flat out like, Bo, take your helmet off. You're good. Say that is pretty crazy. True. Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just love what they're doing with this season.
I do too, and I'm really excited for this Wednesday episode.
I'll tell you,
if people are saying it's as good as they say.
Yeah, I'm hoping now with all this time they had to play between Dawn of the Jedi, we finally do get the Mandalorian Game of Thrones show, starting with Tar Vizsla and how he created the Darksaber, and show the passage of the Darksaber down through the lines. Show it.
They need to do what they're doing with Harry Potter right now. They're making that 7-season show.
Yeah.
Give us that for Mandalorian, for the actual story of Mandalore.
I've been saying that for years. You got to turn each book into a season of a show and just do it.
That's what we've talked about a lot. You and me have just talked about that on normal phone calls.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
And now that it's happening, we're like, how many years have we talked about this now?
Hey. I'm just glad it's finally going to happen.
Oh, yeah, same.
But guys, overall, do we want to run through a couple of the trailers? Have everybody seen all the trailers?
I haven't. I don't think I saw the Accolade trailer yet. Actually,
that's not out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not out. Okay.
So what came out at what everybody got to see was
that's the one Ahsoka. I have seen.
Yep, we had Ahsoka, Visions 2, Survivor, Jedi. And Young Jedi Adventures, and then the indie trailer, obviously. Which that's just weird to me that they keep talking about Indiana Jones during Celebration. I know it's Lucasfilm, but it just feels weird.
It's not. It's not Star Wars. Unless we're going to start saying that,
and they need to sell it.
It just feels weird.
I was going to say, unless we're going to start saying that Han and Indiana are the same character, then we got problems here.
I mean, I think I know why they're doing. I think it's the Harrison Ford link. I think that's why.
That's what I'm saying. Unless we start saying they're the same character, then There's a lot of problems in both universes.
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, so Han Solo, well, it's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So it would be Han Solo's like great.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, we're not doing this shit no more. All right, we're done. We're done. I can't think of that.
I will say that the Visions trailer was really exciting.
Yes.
It looks almost more varied than the first season of
Yes,
Visions.
I got that. Yeah, I got that same feeling. I agree. I really loved the first season. I didn't like all of them, but I think overall it was. I just love that they brought anime into Star Wars and said, you know what? Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Go here. Take them. Write your stories and make them. I love that about that they're doing that kind of stuff. So
you know what's funny? I have not watched Visions yet, and I'm the resident anime watcher right now.
Dude, that
you should watch.
Because like I said before, I'm watching One Piece right now, and I have yet to watch Visions.
No, it's good overall. It really
is. Because the twins one is like so anime.
Really?
It is stereotypical anime.
Yeah. Is it like going back to the 80s and being like, whoa, like sparkly eyes and all kinds of shit?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's so funny.
Oh, okay.
But the opening one, man,
good.
Yeah, the opening one though, the samurai story is so good. That short is so great. There's a couple of them that are really good. I think. I
need to watch it. I don't know why it happened, honestly.
And again, it doesn't have to be for everybody. Not everyone has to be for everybody. But if you get 2 or 3 of them that you like, I think that's a win, right?
Oh yeah.
For a show, absolutely. For a series like that.
Branching out like that isn't a bad thing. Like,
no,
if especially if it's successful,
Look, Star Wars fits in with anime perfectly. So it's a great combo. It's a great combo for sure.
Give me Dragon Ball Z level shit on Star Wars.
I will have
I will love it.
One of my favorites of all time, Dragon Ball and Cowboy Bebop. So I love if they do some stuff like that. That would be awesome.
I've yet to watch Cowboy Wars. Yeah, I've yet to watch Cowboy Bebop.
Oh man, you're now. See.
Bye everyone. Look, I'm on One Piece right now. I'm on on one of the longest animes ever created. I'm trying. Okay.
It's okay. No, it's fine. Look, hey, again, it is what it is, man.
Yeah. Trust me, I have a very long list of anime to watch. I have a very, very long list, and it grows by the week.
I haven't seen much of any anime.
Yeah, I know. And unfortunately, I'm on the rabbit hole at this point. Before we started, I watched the new episode of Demon Slayer.
Which I was actually talking to Jason earlier about. We should do that. He should bring up some anime and make me watch it, and then we'll talk about it.
Let me on that show too, because I will gladly do that with you guys.
So here he comes, Mr. Eaton in the back.
Yeah. Shit, I haven't watched JoJo's yet. Let's do a JoJo series.
So, does anybody else have any other thoughts or anything that we didn't talk about or get into as much?
Nothing that we missed, but I really am excited for the Visions.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, I think this was an exciting year of celebration.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hope this year, giving us a lot of backstory between the beginning of the Force. I think they're going in a nice direction with the new age of the Jedis, hopefully.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just think overall this is a hopeful celebration, considering where we've been in the state of Star Wars for probably the last couple of years.
Yes. I agree 100%.
I will say that so recently I have come at Star Wars with what word am I looking for? With the reticence that, okay, this sounds cool, but I'm not going to get excited because I don't know if it's going to happen. Right. But with the 3 movie announcements, they were very clear on what the 3 movies were about.
Yes.
Instead of it being, oh, this director is going to do this thing, it was, we are making a movie about this topic in this era, and that's what it's going to be. So that was a little bit of a different take than they've been doing, where they've just been throwing out directors' names willy-nilly.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. I agree.
Like if they can get a director, they're just going to be like, "Yep, how much money do you want?"
Well, I mean, even like there was supposed to be the what was it? Oh, that it just left. He was going to produce a movie, and he wrote it, and apparently they told him in February that they weren't going to go forward with it anymore.
Oh, was it the Hoth one?
Not a Hoth.
The scary movie that was supposed to be that they were.
There's no scary Hoth movie. What are you talking about?
Wait, speaking of that, where's our scary
Lindelof? David Lindelof.
Grievous Palace movie.
David Lindelof was supposed to do a movie, and apparently he turned into treatment, and they were like, we're good. Like, David Lindelof? You just, we're good? I don't know. Seems kind of weird to me. There is another thing that I did hear, too. Kathleen Kennedy apparently said at some point that the Rogue Squadron movie is not completely dead. Which was one of the movies I was super excited for. One, because of Patty Jenkins' story and the story she wanted to tell connected to her father.
Yeah.
But Top Gun in space. I mean, come on.
Like but that. I mean, come on. Yes.
Like, if you don't put Tom Cruise as a cameo in there, you're crazy, first of all. He's got to be one of the pilots. Yeah. But seriously, like, right. I would have loved to have seen her take on this because of her connection with her father and that he was a fighter pilot. I think she could have done a good job, and I'm just so surprised that one fell through of all of them.
Yes. It was when I think that was kind of the breaking point. When that fell through, I was like, okay, I don't believe it until I see a true trailer and a drop date.
Yeah. I thought that was such a cool idea, especially because I played Squadrons on on Xbox. It's such a fun game. Yeah. So if they could have done something like that, I think it was a missed opportunity if they if they do officially get away from really cool idea. I mean, really cool idea. And it was supposed to be about the actual Rogue Squadron, so from Rogue One. So that would have been a cool tie-in back to that era and the sort of rebellion era. So it's just a missed opportunity, unfortunately. Again,
I love any instances that they bring Saw Gerrera into anything.
Exactly, dude. Why can't
Gerrera is one of my favorite fucking.
You don't not bring Forrest Whitaker in. Come on, man. Amazing at Saw Gerrera.
Yeah. Yes.
Bo Gullet. Yeah. I love that. I love that line. Bo Gullet. The way he says it. He's so great. I did like that they brought him in Bad Batch too.
Oh yeah.
I did like that they've sprinkled him in there. He's always a great character to see. I'm just wondering how much we're going to get Luke if we're going to stay in this time period. I know he's not technically a lot. Well, he is in the Mandalorian time period, but even with Rey and stuff, the 15 years in the future one, I don't know if they're going to be able to get him back.
I don't want him back.
Because that's not technically Filoni. That's not Filoni. Filoni got him back for, Mandalorian. I don't know if Kathleen Kennedy can get him back for a movie. That's what scares me.
My thing is,
highly doubt it.
Yeah.
So he would only obviously come back if he was a Force ghost or something talking to her again.
Right.
But Anakin never Force ghost talked to Ben. So it would make the most sense for Luke to not Force ghost talk to Rey. Because I am bitter about the fact that Anakin
actually really, you're right about that. Yeah, I never thought about that.
I'm not mad at it. Maybe just completely get away from it. But yeah, I guess so. I mean, but this seems like they're trying to keep the Skywalker alive, the name alive. So, is there a way to bring Leia back as a Force?
No.
Is there a way?
I don't think she was that adept.
She disappeared. She did not die. She disappeared.
did disappear.
So this is true.
Only Yoda did
This
that.
is the way.
Only Yoda. We only saw Yoda and Obi-Wan do that, and they both turned into Force ghosts. All other Jedi that have died have had funerals that we know of.
But I mean, they are also
you know
still
what I mean.
Force ghosts.
Huh?
Qui-Gon's still a Force ghost. All those other Jedi still are Force ghosts.
Qui-Gon was the first one to master it.
Yeah.
That's why his body was preserved, because he learned it in the moment he died. I guess however, I don't know exactly how it worked. But, there's the with Anakin, the way that he learned was as he was dying, literally in the last seconds of his life, Yoda reached out to him and taught him in those moments. So I don't know. I don't know if Leia. Why can't Leia be a Force ghost?
Take this lesson real quick.
Why can't?
Yeah, your final training.
That is not how Leia learned it, so I will not accept that. No, I just think that would be cool, man, if they finally tell that like Leia was her master. Because yes, she acknowledges it was her master, but I feel like that is the better storyline, that Leia was her master, because it's a powerful moment.
It really makes more sense. It really does make more sense.
It makes a lot more sense, yes, because Luke's gone and Luke didn't care about Rey.
Yeah.
Luke
just wanted to die alone on sorry, what was the planet's name again? Can't remember now.
Luke came back for Ben, not for Rey. I mean, that's what happened.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
for sure.
So and obviously his sister but Rey was not one of his thoughts when he came back to help.
No,
in my opinion. So, and he had no intentions of helping her at all on the planet either. When she was on to, he was just like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
I mean, even Chewie, he's like, Chewie, where's Han at? And Chewie's like, he's dead.
I think we just realized.
And he's like, what?
I think this is what it is. Luke is just horrible with kids. So Luke is just horrible with children, and that's why he can't.
Okay,
wait,
that's
hold on. Not Luke to me though. That's
hold on. Wait,
problem.
Did he get that from his father though?
Oh.
How dare you? How dare you?
He definitely might have though.
That's what I'm saying.
We still have not officially seen him kill younglings. Do not disperse his name, sir.
Hey, just because we haven't seen it doesn't mean it didn't happen.
He stabbed her. He did not kill her.
It happened.
Reva lived. He didn't kill anybody.
Not Reva, but come on, there was a lot of younglings in Coruscant. Like, come on, I was going to say, you can't tell me
you're not going to tell me that one youngling where he was past the Skywalker. What are we going to do?
Oh, he killed him first. He killed him.
I was about to say, you can't tell me you didn't kill a lot of younglings.
Yeah, no, I'm joking.
I was about to say. So you'd be stupid for that.
No, I hope that they do. Oh, it just makes me, like I said, I don't. It's so weird because, like you said, I don't trust anything until it actually comes out.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen at this point.
Honestly,
next month, the Rey trilogy is over.
Right.
Easily happen.
Okay, let's just say that everything that we've seen from this celebration happens.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, this is the best celebration we've had in a while.
Yeah.
Like, by far.
Yeah.
I genuinely think this is by far the best we've had in terms of the quality of the things that we've seen and the hopes that we have for the things that have, like the Rey trilogy that we don't really know a lot about.
The most dense Star Wars celebration we've ever done. Because recently the Star Wars has just been like, it's focused around this movie coming out, Force Awakens or, Return, Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker or Solo. So
the Mandalorian.
There wasn't shows and everything else around it to sort of fill in the gaps. Where now we have a lot of shows but we don't have a lot of movies. So it's more
honestly,
dense.
I hope they keep going that way. I hope we get more shows than movies. I think that's a way better way for Star Wars to grow.
Way better way for stories to be told for them.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a better way to grow the story.
The
to make
idea of these sort of culmination movies, where like Avenger type movies they lead up to, you know.
And I think they're taking a lot from Marvel where they do that, where the shows are really bringing a big part into the movies.
Yeah, I mean, really, this is the first Marvel because in the sense that when before Disney bought Lucasfilm, there was Legends. So there was all these stories out there, of this connected universe, in a way. So being able to tell this story that way and hit different time periods in the storyline is going to be key. I think it's going to be the key to it. So, but hopefully they don't get too confusing with it, because like you said, when Mangold's movie comes out, do people look at it and say, well, where's Rey? Where's Luke? Where's, Palpatine? Where's this person? So maybe there's some of that.
I feel like people need to, well, I mean, obviously it's easy for us to say, but people need to understand that this very limited part of the universe is not all that is in this universe. I mean,
yeah,
it goes back thousands of years, 25,000 years, if not longer.
Maybe that's the movie they should start with. What do you think? Maybe it's a mistake to start with the Rey trilogy, and maybe that's where they should start with the new movies?
I think the Ancient movie is the movie that everybody wants.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So I feel like that would have made the most sense.
I mean, for me, it's either that or the Knights of the Old Republic. Those are the two storylines I would love to see the most.
That's what everybody wants to go many, many, many years back in the past. So why wasn't that, the one that that seems like an odd choice.
Right.
But,
well, and I think right out of the gate, if that's the first movie since, Rise of Skywalker,
give her redemption. And to also keep the character alive.
No, I understand that. But what I'm saying is,
isn't that what I said before?
A better way to sort of say, okay, look, guys, we are going to tell stories in this other time period. Also, you're still going to get Rey and what all the other stuff we're going to do, but maybe just so fans understand what's happening. Like, this is also a time period we're going to be in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
we won't
know until we see these movies. So,
I don't know how yet, but they need to introduce it well, because if they don't give a good introduction, people aren't going to stick with it, and you're going to see on things like Rotten Tomatoes where it's going to be like a 40 out of 100, and then everybody like from our part of the geekdom, they're going to be like, oh, this is great, this is 9 out of 10. That's the divide you're going to see, where the fans love it, but the general audience hates it.
Yeah, well,
let's hope not.
I hope not, because I want more stuff like this. I think we all do, but they have to do it right. That's the simple.
Well, sure.
Yeah. Like
I think it all comes down, like we said before, it's story. If they tell the right stories and they tell them well, I think they can get away with a lot.
Yeah.
So. And again, 25,000 years. I mean, there's literally nothing they can say can be wrong. Do you know what I mean? They're telling a brand new story, so whatever happens, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I think like the sequels and other things that have been criticized by fans is stuff that we sort of know already, and people feel like they're messing with what we know. Where this, they don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, that's another thing. If they start changing it. If they start taking the bad parts away from Legends, like if they start to incorporate the Legends stuff into canon, if they start to
bad stuff from Legends, don't do that. No, please.
No, obviously, but I'm saying if they screw that up, if they take the stuff from Legends, but then somehow they write some kind of some kind of bad story device around it, people are going to be like, well, they took a really great thing and turned it into a really terrible thing, so it's a balancing thing.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they do it right. I really am, because I want to see more stuff like this.
Yeah.
I just feel like you said, if we get everything they've announced, I think we're heading in the right direction.
That's exactly. Assuming that everything that they've announced goes to fruition, I'm excited. I am 100% excited.
I think so.
And I, in my opinion, I think all of it has the potential to be good.
I think it's the potential to be great. Star Wars always has
great.
But
look,
that's the thing.
I want to be great. I mean,
okay. That's what we said about the sequel trilogy. That's exactly what we said about the sequel trilogy. Oh, this is gonna be great.
Some people think that Episode 9 is incredible. So,
and some people think that Episode 8 is incredible.
That is true.
Do you see the problem with this?
As I said, Dave Filoni made the prequels, my opinion, really, really, really good.
Yes.
So if he can do that again with this era and tie the sequels in, I don't have a problem with it. It just, to me, it sort of feels forced at this point because Filoni has always said George Lucas is, the original trilogy is the Bible of Star Wars. That's how him and Lucas felt. So he's always going to try to make everything make sense. That's just what he wants for Star Wars in general.
Yeah.
So
and honestly, that makes a lot of sense because I mean, if you're not going off of the original, then what are you really going off of? I mean,
it's not that it doesn't make sense at all. Palpatine would definitely be doing this because that was his journey.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if you're not gonna base yourself off of the original creation, then what are you really basing yourself off of? Your fantasy of what you want it to be? I mean, okay, well, what if your fantasy is, like who wants to see that? If your fantasy is that, Anakin was, I don't know. You don't understand what I'm saying, though. You know, if your fantasy doesn't make sense, then who wants to actually see the movie with that in it, or a show?
But it is true that we're all different, right? And so everybody has their own favorite Star Wars, and it can be very different from one person to the next. Clearly. So,
yes.
I mean, like there are many Star Wars things that I love that many other people don't love, and Star Wars things that other people love that I don't love as much.
Right.
And I think that's actually a good thing.
Yeah.
Because
you're definitely right
more
about that.
people can enjoy it.
Yeah.
No, I love like when people don't, or there's things that people like that I don't necessarily like because I want to hear why.
That's what I like. That's what I like about this conversation that we've had. Yeah, it's like that's what I love about this conversation that we've had. It's just like,
for sure,
we don't agree on the same things. Why do you think that?
Because maybe I am missing something. Maybe I missed a detail. And I don't have a problem with that. I don't
like you were saying.
I don't know enough about this.
Yeah, like when I was saying about how they never explained the cloning in the movies of episode 9, you were like, "Oh, well, they said something about." Well, I mean, maybe I just missed it.
Cloning's been there because, I haven't read the comics, but I've watched all the comics on Afra, and that's what was happening. I mean, it was Vader doing it, but Vader was tampering with a lot of stuff behind the scenes too. So the fact that Palpatine was doing stuff is not out of the.
Oh no, for sure.
And what we know about Plagueis and how Anakin was conceived or made or however that
manipulate the midichlorians to create life.
Oh my
right. So there's a lot of stuff like that in Star Wars. So again, it's not that it's out of the realm. It's just I feel like in the movies the story wasn't told well enough. Where I hope Filoni can sort of fill those gaps in and make that make sense because it does make sense. It just doesn't yet, I guess, is the best way to say it.
It makes sense if you're in the know. If you're not in the know, you're kind of left in the dark.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's the famous line that Harloff always says is, Palpatine's back. Well, how? Well, he's just back. It's just kind of how it goes.
Yeah.
It's just kind of how it goes and it's weird. But again, with Bad Batch and Mandalorian now kind of diving into that, I love actually that Grogu is sort of the key to because one of the reasons that they can't clone Palpatine is that they can't get a body that can hold the Force or that can control his power in the Force.
Yes.
So using Grogu, blood, maybe sort of like a Jurassic Park thing where kind of I just mean mixing the DNAs together to sort of make the body stronger.
I get what you mean.
So maybe that's a way to go with it, and maybe it's a way that they can do it. I'm just interested to see how he ties all this in. I think, for sure.
And I think going back to what we said before, like we all have our disagreements, but we all have one general consensus. We want Star Wars to be good.
Yeah.
That is the bottom line. We want Star Wars to be good and to keep going for a long time.
Yes.
I think that's what scares me more than anything. I think that's where my sort of criticism come from is just that I don't want to ever lose it again because after the prequels, we really thought it was over. Like fans,
100%.
We really believed it was over. And I just don't ever want to feel like that again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, I want to watch Star Wars when I'm 50. I want to be able to keep, I want to be able to watch Star Wars when I'm 50 and tell my kids about how I was watching The Mandalorian as it was coming out and how,
right.
And all stuff like that. And how I unfortunately saw the sequels in the theaters, but still, it was a good experience overall. That's what I want to be able to, pass down.
No, I think we all love this stuff equally. Yeah. I think that's obvious. Everybody loves Star Wars, man.
I wouldn't be on here if I didn't like it.
It's such a great universe to be in. When it's good, it's so great. Like it really is so great to be in this universe when it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, I think that's it though. I think we've kind of hit everything. Let us know out there, guys, what you thought of everything. Please comment down below.
Yeah.
Tell us all the craziness.
This was a crazy celebration.
Is Ahsoka gonna be good? Probably, because it's amazing.
It has to be. If it's not good, there's a problem.
It's gonna be like Boba Fett for me. It's gonna be like, but I love it, and I hope it's not like that though.
Yeah,
because it looks amazing. That trailer is great. We got to see Ezra's planet, I think, too, didn't we? That's Ezra's planet that we see.
From Lothal?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
I need to watch.
It's the big tower. You remember the big tower that he lives in the very first season? I think it's that same tower that he lives in.
You might be right on that.
In the very first, I hope so. At least I hope we get some of that. That would be awesome. But yeah, guys, let us know what you think. Please hit that like and subscribe button down below, guys. We are on the journey to 1,000, a mission to 1,000 subscribers, and notification bell because we got a lot of crazy stuff coming out. But Star Wars Celebration, guys, crazy weekend, so much information, so much stuff coming out. I don't know where this is going. Like we said, I think it's all going to be amazing though. So, guys, tell them where they can find you.
That's all we got to say.
I guess not you, Alex, because you don't really. Are you on anything?
Not really.
Yeah, you're not on anything.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Marie, though, tell them where they can find you. Tell them about your channel.
Yeah. So you can find me on Twitter at Alia Morgaine. That is where I mostly post channel updates. But my channel on YouTube is Afra's Artifacts, where I talk about the queer side of Star Wars. So I'll just say this real quick, but the next episode, so they come out Thursdays at 6 p.m. Central, and the next one is actually going to be a reality check episode because a lot of stuff going on in the U.S. terrifies me. So it's going to be more of a real life thing, and I do those every now and then just to keep up with real life stuff. But I am still plugging away with Caden Larte is the person that I'm focused on right now from the Ahsoka novel. So
yes, I do remember that. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's great to hear. Guys, please check out that channel. She's really got some good stuff over there. So
hell yeah.
Definitely check out that. Jason?
You can find me here on Thursday nights in Gaming in the Multiverse. You can find me here on the Jedi Academy on normal nights on Fridays. And Geekdom Uncut on Sundays, and every trailer reaction that we've got coming out
everything on the channel.
And there will be more coming every week.
Every day, every week. They never stop.
No, hey, that's a good thing, though. That's great. We got stuff coming out.
Very true. Very true.
Guys, you can find me on Twitter at Jedi Master Tuck. You can find me here on the Multiverse of Geekdom every day, pretty much. Trailer reactions, Jedi Academy, Geekdom Uncut.
Titans of the Turf.
I was getting there. But on Mondays, guys, we have a new league. We did miss it because I was out of town. So we will be coming back next Monday with some great third week matches. And we are excited to keep that going.
We did have a few nice interviews that came out today.
I watched the first one today, actually. I did watch the first one. It was great.
Yeah, the interviews were great to actually get a little bit of a sneak behind the guys actually playing the game. Yeah. It was nice.
And I will say, you guys have been killing it with the Titans. I have loved the past 2 weeks.
We love it so far.
I love it so much.
I appreciate it. It has been a lot of work, but
I can't wait to see more games.
But also, guys, check out the Facebook groups. We have the Titans of the Turf. We have the Multiverse of Geekdom, and we also have the Benverse, guys. Please check out the Benverse. So many other channels over there. Actually, Marie on Taco's channel is over. We have Movie Lovers Unite. We have our channel. We have Northern Entertainment Group. So many other channels, guys. So please check them out too. But yeah, guys, until next time, I think it's just may the force be with you, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I think that's how we got to go. May the force be with you guys.
May the force be with you.
May the force be with all of you.
Bye.